this is just a crash course in how you can be relieved of your duties, fired from your position as the battalion commander or the sergeant major of this command here, as it looks like there's some hot off the press spicy quotations, I'll say, from these people, as they've made some allegations that people that were there during the Afghanistan pullout over back in 2021 were complacent in doing so and trying to shame Marines during the process. I'll just read over this real quick. So this was over with our friends NickyMGTV. They're very notably known across the Marine Corps and military in general for covering various topics and being an outlet for whistleblowers out there and being able to get their voice heard, as many people believe that their voices are not able to be heard unless they're spoken through a channel such as a military meme page or something like that. So this is what has been quoted. They say 2-1 was getting ready to redeploy when they got the call. Do you think they were ready about to redeploy? They were complacent when everything went down, not to speak ill of the dead, but they weren't prepared. Lieutenant Colonel Amelia's input on the casualties of HKIA Kabul, Afghanistan. And says 1-4's battalion commander, Lieutenant Colonel CJ Amelia, had a surprise service Charlie's inspection within 48 hours notice. Battalion Sergeant Major F. Adu compared it to being prepared for combat, because in that 48 hours, Marines weren't able to get their Charlies ready and looked bad in the uniforms, wrinkled, not fitting right, etc. Then said, if your dress uniforms aren't ready at a moment's notice, how can you be ready to load on a bird and go fight at a moment's notice? To which the BC then referred to 2-1's responding to HKIA and how they were complacent, comparing our uniform inspection to their mission in Kabul and how they were killed because of complacency. Now, just for reference here, I'm going to show pictures of both Lieutenant Colonel CJ Amelia first of 1-4, and then I'm also going to show you Sergeant Major F. Adu. I want you to pay close attention to both of these. Do you see anywhere as the story of what is on their chest is written in their ribbons? And obviously, I do want to shout out to you guys that are subscribed already. I appreciate you. But the people that are not, it's usually about half or more of the people that are here. If you like what I cover here, the topics I bring up, I would love for you guys to hit that subscribe button, comment, all that good stuff, because it does allow this video to reach more of the masses. And that way we can discuss these hot topics and kind of look at it from a social, cultural, military context here. So I'd appreciate it. As people that have campaign ribbons, but do not have combat action ribbons, there are people calling these people out saying, how can you even be like this? Some of the most notable people here have to be included are veteran with a sign, a known advocate, and person with combat experience, which has dealt with it on a personal level, says weird how neither of them have combat experience and they're talking about war. 6K Steve says, nice combat action ribbons, very valuable input. Derek Carver writes, future headlines, white supremacists on social media attack black female sergeant major because of the R word. Flex Aaron says, and they still wonder why retention/recruitment is near zero. Let me be very clear. I believe in understanding the principles of instilling, you train how you fight, all that kind of stuff. However, this has gotten people really riled up, and this even includes the former Sergeant Major Barry Bull that has come on his platform of over 100,000 people on Instagram disowning these top leaders that were his peers at one point.
They had a surprise inspection within 48 hours, which, to be honest, I really don't care what unit you're in. 99.99999% of units would be a train wreck. So the Sergeant Major basically says right down here, if you can't have your uniforms ready at a moment's notice, how are you going to be ready for combat and load a bird at a moment's notice to go fight the enemy? And then the battalion commander took it to a really unfortunate place. Pretty deplorable comments he made about the Marines who died last year in Afghanistan at the Abbey Gate. You can pause this and read this for yourself. Now, I wasn't there, I don't know what was said, but this is a good lesson that it almost doesn't matter, because this is what's being publicized. This is today's day and age. You need to be prepared to have what you say be recorded, videotaped, and sent out to these social media outlets. This has all caused a lot of people a lot of pain and suffering. So if you're a leader or anybody, keep that in mind before you speak.
And I have to give notice here that Barry Bull here is actually a very credible source to, look at this subject in the context matter and understand the ramifications of it. If you guys don't remember, only about 2 years ago, it was known that he was already being put up for retirement, already submitted his paperwork. However, what ended up happening was he went to one of his junior Marines residences to find out if he was alive or not because they weren't sure, and he was unauthorized absence. And understanding that home footage that he was caught in his house with was then published to the internet for everyone to see, and questioning his Fourth Amendment rights that were being violated, allegedly, according to Sergeant Major Bull at that time. Now, I will say that he has asked me to take down that video. I'll show a podcast clip here.
The reason I was relieved was for violating the Privacy Act. So it was not because I went into anybody's house without permission. Okay. I think what ended up happening was that Marine had a good lawyer, and he went public with that stuff later on down the line, maybe to try to clear his own name, change his characterization of service. I don't know. But he claimed I violated his Fourth Amendment rights. In order for me to do that, I would have needed to be acting as an extension of law enforcement. In other words, NCIS says, Barry, go in there, see what you can find. That's much different than going in there trying to see if so it's all predicated on whether you believe I went in there to see if the Marine was alive. Yeah. There's a lot of people that don't believe that. To them, I would ask them, well, then what did I gain by being in his apartment? If I wasn't there to see if the guy was there, did I steal something? Did I eat his Hot Pockets? Yeah. Did I put my feet on his couch? What did I do?
Yeah, and you know what?
He wasn't charged, or there was zero evidence used from that piece of me being in his apartment.
Yeah, but
I didn't go through his stuff.
Yeah, but everyone used that because you were at the moment. There's been, I think, others after you, right? Because it's so uncommon to see sergeant majors, because sergeant majors are higher enlisted or officers, right? Committing stuff like that doesn't mean that doesn't happen, but doing stuff like that at the moment that whatever piece of news come out, they take it at face value. Yeah. They don't care about the details that you and I are discussing. They don't. All they care is like, that's it, breaking and entering, because that's what people think that you get charged with, right? It's like, breaking and entering.
The two things that didn't help me was NickyMGTV. I asked him actually if he, would take his YouTube video down, because it's very clickbaity. On the thumbnail for the YouTube video, it's like Sergeant Major caught red-handed.
Yeah.
That's what it says on there, right? Yeah. That YouTube video has been used at PMEs for whether or not, you should go into someone's house. Wow. So you have leaders in the Marine Corps right now. Yeah. That because of me question, should I go in or not? Yeah. Right? You'd want me to come check on you. But when you're the leader, should I go inside? That's what my situation caused. Because what happened to me has been done a million times over. And it's unfortunate that many of us, including myself, have found Marines not alive. Yeah.
However, I think this video, along with Sergeant Major Bull's issue of that video, these serve as notices. These serve as is it ethical? Is it moral? Is it legal? These are things that every leader should consider as they are conducting business. And I have to say here, I do understand what they were trying to get at. And we all do. It's just a very bad take. It's a very bad take that should have never been put in this context and should have never been the forefront of this is why. Especially as you have to understand, I personally have known at least 10 people that were in Afghanistan during that time that could tell me exactly what happened. They knew certain people that were involved in that accident as well. Yes, for the rest of the country looking at that instance, it was just a news splatter for a week or two that this was so bad and kind of trickled out over time. But for people that were in the military, especially some of these Marines, they probably knew people that were there. And I don't want to put it past anybody of we don't have an audio recording. Maybe somebody did want to record this or didn't. And leadership people out here need to realize that these junior enlisted people are going to start filming, recording, doing whatever, just like Barry Bull says here. And yes, they could make everybody empty their pockets or whatever else, turn in their phones or whatever. That would be a whole other legal debacle as well. Be ready for whatever happens at your command to be echoed across social media. It is the new leveler of everything that comes and goes throughout the military at this point. And if you're doing things that are going to, decrease morale or be kind of hot takes like this, it's going to be blasted on the internet as well. But this is where I get to the point of the video where I ask you guys, what do you think about this situation? Do you think that it's okay to use examples like this for real world situations to try and make some kind of example of it? Or do you think this was just a bad taste and they could have used something else as they were trying to get their message across? Let me know down in the comments below, as this is what allows the conversation to continue. I love you guys. See you next time.